Everyone blames their metabolism when it comes to losing weight, but that's not the thing that's changed, and it's actually a lot easier to fix than you think. Hi, I'm Charlie, and I'm the co-founder of Potential Coaching, and over the past 3 years, we've helped transform over 500 people's lives. If you're looking for help with your weight loss, there'll be a link in the caption below. A common thing will be when someone gets past the age of 30, and I see this all the time in conversations that we're having, they will automatically assume that their metabolism isn't the same as when they were 29. And one of the biggest things is it's not actually the metabolism that's changed, it can just be your lifestyle. Your lifestyle can be different. You've got more stress now. You could potentially have a family, you could have a high stress job, you could have a mortgage, anything that just adds extra stress to your day. You've got potentially less sleep. Again, if you've got kids, might not be sleeping as much. You might move less, sedentary job, office job, sat on a computer all day. It's going to be different. Maybe in your 20s, you're a bit more of a social butterfly. You're going out every weekend, you're going for walks, you were going to the gym with friends. You had a lot less responsibility, which meant you could do more and you had more time to give to yourself. You can have a decrease in your muscle mass. Most ladies, after the age of 30, their muscle mass will start to decrease, which is why you need to be doing strength training and pushing your body that way, adding a little bit of a stimulus, building some muscle, because it will be deteriorating. As you lose muscle, your BMR drops, and that does actually result in your metabolism to start to slow down because you have less muscle mass. But it isn't, this is the main thing, it's just the less muscle you have, the lower calories you burn at rest, which means you have to consume less calories to lose weight. This is totally fixable. You've also got to think about when you get into your mid-30s, you can start becoming perimenopausal, which means there's going to be changes in your body. Your hormones are going to go slightly in different directions. You've got your progesterone and you've got your estrogen, and the shifts in these will affect your hunger, will affect the water that you're holding on to, and it can also affect where fat is stored, which means an increase in water retention will cause the scales to go up. It doesn't mean you're gaining body fat. An increase in hunger can then cause you to want to eat more, which will cause an increase in body fat. But they're two things that you can control and you can work on to improve. Now, I'm giving you the information around becoming perimenopausal because I don't want you to use that as an excuse as well. We've helped many ladies that have gone through menopause still lose weight. We've had some people lose 20 to 30 kg, being menopausal. It's just, you have to slightly change the approach sometimes, but also it isn't an excuse. To lose weight, it's always going to be calories in versus calories out. If you can't maintain that calorie deficit, you will just not lose weight. That's why sometimes people think their metabolism is too slow. It's not the case. Now you're going to sit and think, well, I did this in my 20s, but why doesn't it work now? So you could have been someone that just went in 800 calories, lots and lots of cardio, and it was working absolute wonders. As I mentioned, your muscle mass is going to start to drop, which means with that drop in muscle mass, you just have to eat less and less calories. You could have been able to lose weight on when you used to go in at 1200 calories or 1300 calories or 1400 calories, whatever it used to be, and you would lose weight. You might have less muscle mass now, which just means you've got to be in a bigger deficit than you think. You've also got your hormones. In your 20s, they were on your side. Now that you've gone into your 30s, they're probably not so much. And when you were doing it, the crash diet in the super low calories, it might have worked so well in the past because you're younger, you've probably got more energy, whereas now it just increases the muscle mass that you lose. Increased muscle mass that you lose will then mean you have to go even further into a deficit and eat less and less and less. You might also find, because you've got more responsibilities now, that your energy is just so much more drained and you need something sustainable. You need to be in a calorie deficit that's maintainable, that you can sustain, that doesn't affect family life or doesn't affect your energy levels. As one of the biggest things is you'll be giving a lot of energy to your family, and if that starts to tank off, it's going to affect everything else, which we do not want. So to lose weight in your 30s, what will actually work? The first thing is resistance training. You don't have to go 5 times a week. if you go 2 to 3 times, hit full body 2 to 3 times, great. You're in a great position. You're hitting everything optimally. Go the amount of times that you can, but have some structure. A lot of people will go to the gym and just do, oh, I fancy this machine today and I want to do that one. That's not going to work. You need to be training at a gym and doing progressive overload. Progressive overload is where you increase the stimulus by, that could be the sets, that could be the reps, could be the intensity, could be the weight, increasing that over a period of time. So week 1, you could start doing 3 sets, 8 kg. By week 4, you're doing 3 sets, 12 kg. That's progressive overload over time. You've got to make sure that your protein target goes up. The reason being is protein will help you maintain your muscle mass. The more you go in a deficit, you want to try and maintain as much as that deficit as possible. So keep it as high as possible. 30% or above of your macro split would be great. Again, a lot of people don't look at it as much as they should. And having a good level of protein in your diet is just gonna help you in the long term lose weight, maintain muscle, which is what you want. Next important thing that you need to optimize is sleep and stress. Sleep, I understand if you've got kids, can be a little bit harder, but it's all about perfecting how you go to sleep. So reduce the blue light 30 minutes to an hour before going to bed. Take magnesium glycinate an hour before bed. You can pair that with ashwagandha as well, and that's like a perfect mix. Both of them together will help reduce stress as well, so they're like important. Then I want you to try and have the same sleep and same wake time. One of the biggest issues that people have is not going to bed at the same time. Now, I understand that sometimes you might want a little bit chill on the weekend and you might go a little bit later, but that's going to be one of the things that can throw you out of your routine. So if you can try and go to bed, let's say 10 o'clock every single night, and you want to wake up at 5 a.m, that will keep you in a nice routine. Finally, the next thing to look at is just have a smaller, more consistent calorie deficit. If you put yourself in a 300 to 500 calorie deficit, and it's a lot more maintainable than an 8 to 1000 calorie deficit, you're going to be able to stick to it for longer. You're probably not going to have any binges, but also it becomes a lot more sustainable within your lifestyle. You don't have to restrict the things you love, and then you have a lot more control, you have more energy, and it really does benefit you. Just remember, to lose weight, it's all about calories in versus calories out. Your metabolism slowing down will not affect it. You just have to eat less food and be in a different calorie deficit to what you actually think you are. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe. I'm posting 2 weight loss videos a week to help you with your journey.